Did you see one of the breaking news stories in the last 2 days? British royal family has been hit with medical problems, ailments. Kate Middleton, she's had abdominal surgery. Kate Middleton, she's the Duchess of Cambridge, I think, or was it Kent? I think she's the Duchess of Cambridge. Forgive me if I'm wrong. So she's had abdominal surgery, but they won't go into details, and I want to know what it is. She's going to be out of action for 2 weeks. She's going to be in hospital for 2 weeks, and she's relieved of her royal duties until March. So it can't be appendicitis. Appendicitis, 4 or 5 days, maybe. Ovarian cyst, even, also. I'm feeling hernia. That makes sense. I know somebody who had a hernia procedure. She was out of action for like a month. She worked from home. She was like, I'm thinking hernia. They've been very secretive, this British royal family. They won't reveal. So I hope it's not serious. You know, she's a young woman, but you never know. Could it be the COVID? No, it's abdominal. What else could it be? Abdominal surgery. Gallbladder. You're out of action for a week, maybe a little bit longer. I'm going to go with hernia. Because hernia, it involves muscles and you have to move around. Imagine royal duties. You've got to cut a ribbon. You don't realize that when you're healthy and you're feeling fine, you don't realize what muscles are in. You hurt yourself, you injure your back or you tear a muscle somewhere. Just those little actions that you just take for granted every day. That scissors action, that cutting of the ribbon. There's a lot of muscles involved. Apparently, just when you smile, I read somewhere recently that when you smile, it involves 40 different muscles. So imagine cutting a ribbon. Maybe that's 45 muscles. So Kate Middleton, we hope she's going to be all right. I'm very biased. I'm terrible. When it's a good-looking person, when it's an attractive woman, I have more sympathy. I can't. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. I remember many years ago. It's probably almost 20 years ago. Remember there was that Gladiator show, The Gladiators. It was they did all things with bouncing balls and running on. The one woman, the one gladiator, the one female gladiator, she had a brain hemorrhage. She died. I was devastated. I was so upset because she was really hot. She was so attractive. I've said this before. Attractive people are treated better by the world, by everybody. I'll never forget, when I was in radio, there was not one unattractive person in the sales department. When I was at 5FM, this is sexist, this is not good, but this is reality. When I was at 5FM, all the female presenters were good looking. They weren't all amazing, like 10 out of 10s, but they were all reasonably attractive. There was no unattractive woman. The men, that's another story. I mean, they employed me. You know what I'm saying. So there you have it. Going back to the ailments in the British royal family. King Charles. Now, I don't know why this became a story, but this is every second man on earth, maybe even more. Enlarged prostate, right? So the article says they don't suspect cancer. Enlarged prostate. Who hasn't got an enlarged prostate? Most men over 40, 45, maybe 50, you're going to have an enlarged prostate. 60, 70, 8 out of 10 times you're going to have an enlarged prostate. It just goes without saying. Just out of interest, the terminology, the medical terminology is benign hyperplastic. No, oh no, man, come on. Benign hyperplastic. Oh man, I used to know this. Benign. Oh man, prostate. Benign hyperplastic prostatitis. Benign hyperplastic prostatitis. Yes, it's benign. It's not cancerous. The symptoms. Well, yeah. Symptoms, frequent urination. So you have to urinate more often than you used to. And when you urinate, oh, by the way, this is just for men. Only men have prostates, just to be clear on that. So picture King Charles. I don't know whether King Charles is a sitter or a stander when he urinates. When you finish off and you give your penis a little shochel. In the old days, in your 20s, when you were younger, you gave a shochel, it was enough. No more drips. I tell you what, I experienced this myself. I have got this enlarged prostate, benign hyperplastic prostatitis. You can shochel and shochel. You can shake that. 8 out of 10 times, you still get dribble. Every single time. If I really don't want to get dribble, then I just got to have a lot of patience. I got to shochel and shochel like a long time. A long time. And then you may be asking this question, how do you not get drips on your pants? So what you do, let me show you the technique. This is my hand. You hold, my fingers are all, that's embarrassing. I mutilated my fingers up, so I can't. So you're holding your penis. You have your hand between your penis and your pants. Just, you can imagine it. So while you're shocheling, a bit of splash doesn't get on your pants. It goes on your hand. That's why you always wash your hands. Anyway, you wash your hands. You should be washing your hands anyway after you've urinated. Anyway, if I don't shake diligently, there's always dribble. Occasionally, it's even worse. It'll be like in the evening, I got my boxer shorts on, which is like my pajamas. It's happened once or twice. Big patch of urine on my groin area. Bernice freaked out about this. Was a couple of weeks ago. She freaked out because one of her biggest fears is that I'm gonna land up like some old man in bad health, and then she needs to look after me. That's her worst fear. So she thinks I got this terrible condition. I said to her, listen, this happens to almost all men. It's normal. I'll just shake. I'll just be more diligent with my shaking. So that's what King Charles. This is what King Charles is going through. Camilla, probably when King Charles might not have been aware of it, and Camilla probably said, Charles, what's going on? I don't know how she talks. Charles, look what's going on. Oh, you're right. I piddled a bit. And that's where they call the royal surgeon. So the royal surgeon, he doesn't make an appointment the next day. They call the royal surgeon. House call. I don't know how do they, diagnose the enlarged prostate? So in the old days, call it a digital examination. Doctor will put on a good latex glove, put the finger up and feel the prostate, whether it's enlarged or not. I reckon you stick with that. Charles probably had the royal surgeon, which is a fancy name for doctor, up his tochas. Camilla might have been watching, I don't know. Enlarged prostate. I hope it's not more sinister. In my mind, why are they making it the news that that King Charles has got an enlarged prostate? Maybe because now that he's the king, maybe there's a rule that he's got to give every single detail of his health. Is it for royal legal reasons? Sorry, I don't normally do that. I made myself a cup of tea. The hearts are on the cup. So interesting, a bit of feedback. Feedback is careful. I've got to be careful what kind of feedback I share with you, because some feedback is, oh, Damon, it's good to have you back. Don't go away again. That's boring. I like this one. Because this one now might be, it might be interesting. Damon, I enjoy your show, but I'm paraphrasing. But you're very rude. You don't greet, you don't say hello, good morning, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. And when you end your show, you don't say goodbye. I found that it's abrupt, it's rude. Why do you do that? Again, interesting question. I'll try not to bore you to death. I won't go into too much details. There's a good reason for that. It's a habit I got into. I want you to watch or listen to this podcast on a regular basis. I want it to be part of your life. Granted, I'm only doing it I'd like to do it every day, but overwhelming. So maybe 3 times a week. I want you to listen regularly. So imagine you listen to an episode one after another. You might collect the episodes and listen to 5 in a row or 3 in a row. Imagine if I start every episode exactly the same. Hello, everybody. Imagine if you hear hello, everybody, every single time. Hello. I hope you're having a good day. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. Do you know there's 355 days left of the year? Imagine if I did that every single time I did a podcast. You need to change it up. You need to diversify. I don't want to bore you and annoy you to death. You got to do things differently. And it's the same with the end. Imagine if I ended the show exactly every single time. Well, thank you very much for listening. See you next time. No. Imagine if you hear that 5 times in a row. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful day. Don't do it. I just don't do it. To me, it makes sense. To a lot of other people, it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I'll never forget I had a conversation when Gareth Cliff did the afternoon show on 5FM all those years ago, 2005. The presenter after Gareth, who started her show at 7, every single time at 7:05 or 6 minutes past 7, she would say, thank you, Gareth Cliff and the team, for your previous show. I said, who are you talking to? Doesn't make sense. You say that every single time. It doesn't make sense. Why? Gareth doesn't care. Whoever's listening doesn't care either. They're listening now. Gareth is gone. Let's move on. Why are you thanking him? It's polite. Her answer was, it's polite. Who gives a shit about being polite? It's about who's it's about who's listening. Anyway, I bored you. Okay, that's enough. I get into these rants. Yeah. I told you last time that Bernice and I were going to watch a YouTube video on history of the Houthis. Well, good news. I didn't absorb hardly anything, so I can't. It's just too much. It's too complicated. I can give you like the basics. Houthis they've taken over 70% of Yemen. They've been fighting since the year 2000 with the Yemeni government. And they've had, one leader was killed, no, he died. They got a new leader. Try to learn his name, too complicated. Bernice asked me a very good question last night, and I didn't have the answer. Because I was discussing with her what happened was Iran sent a missile into Pakistan. Now, yesterday, Pakistan sent a missile into Iran. And as I said before as well, before that there was Iran sent missiles into Syria. And and everyone is saying that all this escalation, this violent escalation around the Middle East is because of what happened on the 7th of October and subsequently Israel's reaction the attack on Gaza to eliminate Hamas. Bernice asked me, but why do they care? Why does Iran care about whatever's going on in Pakistan? Why are they bombing those people? Why do they care? Well, I couldn't answer it all, but Iran hates Israel. They don't like Israel. So they supporting the Houthis, but they've been supporting the Houthis before the Houthis started attacking the ships going through the Red Sea. So why did Iran want the Houthis to take over Yemen? Why did Iran not like the ordinary Yemeni regime, government? I don't know. I suppose there's an answer, but to have the answers to all of this, you have to be somebody, a Middle East expert, somebody who's a professor at the university who studies these things on a constant basis. Sure. I don't know if this made the news, but my neighbor told me, and a friend of mine there was this protest. So I assume members of the Johannesburg Jewish community, they did a protest outside Cricket, South Africa, protesting against how David Teager has been treated. I haven't looked at the news this morning. I don't know whether it was reported on. You see, if you're going to do a protest and the news didn't report on it, then the protest was a waste. That's why protests a lot of the times turn violent, because the protesters reckon, hey, the only reason we can make the news is if we do violence, because then it becomes a news story. If it was me, but nobody called me, nobody consulted with me on this, if I was part of this Jewish group that was going to do the protest, I would have made some calls. I would have phoned, I would have sent out a WhatsApp to everyone I knew. All the news outlets. News 24, IOL, Biz Community, maybe Jewish Report will cover it. No. Jewish Report came out yesterday, that's a Thursday, and the protest was on a Thursday. Bad planning. They should have done the protest Tuesday at the latest. If you want a story in the Jewish Report comes out on Thursday. It's printed on Wednesday afternoon. The latest is Tuesday afternoon. I've got to have a drink. I've got to have more tea. If you want to make the Jewish Report, just take notes. Do something on Tuesday. The protest should have been on Tuesday. So they did the protest yesterday, which was Thursday. Will the Jewish Report then a week later report on it? So I suppose maybe they will. Yeah. So one of the things I'm going to admit a guilty pleasure. At the time, I would moan and complain, but secretively, I enjoyed this experience. Bernice and I, and my daughter Alexa at the time. Yeah, but even before Alexa was born, we used to go Friday night, Shabbos dinner, with some old friends of Bernice's who she was at school with in Cape Town. Very observant, they call it frum Jewish people. Friday night dinner. They're quite conservative, maybe, dare I say, right-wing to a degree. Yeah, right-wing. Not all of them, but yeah, half of them quite right-wingish. And they used to say the most outrageous things, in my mind, outrageous. And then I would sit there. Okay. And I would be annoyed, but actually enjoy being annoyed. And maybe I think, look, this food is good. I must just keep quiet, ordinarily they're nice people. They're very hospitable. Food's good. They're nice company. But one of the comments at the time, President Barack Obama is an anti-Semite. Huh? So I asked why. But I asked it in not a shocked why. Oh, why? Oh, why is that? Oh, why is that? Trying to remain, neutral. And I can't remember the exact answer. I think it had to do with Obama maybe not giving as much money as Bush gave to Israel. Or maybe it was Obama saying, listen, maybe not too many settlements in the West Bank, something along those lines. So he's anti-Semitic. And then when Michael Jackson died, that was back in 2008, the one woman, I'm glad he's dead. He was an anti-Semite. Michael Jackson is an anti-Semite. How can you confuse? Doesn't make sense. How do you confuse pedophilia with anti-Semitism? Crazy. There was this one Michael Jackson song, and it sounded like he said the rabbi or something, but it wasn't. Jalen, not my love. I can't remember. So I'm Ben Sechin. I wish that I didn't sign that petition. I signed a petition back in 2014. The petition was benign. Oh dear. Okay. This is what happens with okay. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, that was bad. I'll try edit that out. See, people talk about schwitzing. People talk about white privilege, but let me tell you, it's not always cracked up to what it is, eh? So our helper, domestic worker Judith, just arrived, and it disturbed my podcast. I knew I should have started early. I know she arrives at 9. She's arrived at 4 minutes to 9, so got up and I ran. So this white privilege is not everything it's cracked up to be, because now I might have lost you there. Where was I? So I signed this petition. The petition, to me, in my opinion at the time, was benign. It was just, we fellow Jews, South African, we asked the Israeli Defense Force to cease its bombardment of Gaza. That was it. It wasn't anything anti-Zionist. But the perception and the interpretation is another story. The interpretation was that it was anti-Semitic because we don't want Israel to be defended. Meantime, they had bombed Gaza, and they've won. Why? Killing a fly with a shotgun. That was the feeling at the time. To be honest with you, between you and me, I didn't even read the petition. I just saw other people who had signed it, and I thought, Stephen Friedman, Butland. I thought, hey, those are good guys. I like them. Yeah, but I'll just sign it. I mean, I like these people, So I'll go. So these Cape Town friends of ours, friendship over. The one guy even sent me WhatsApp messages. You got to think before you do this. I'm now too scared to wear my kippah. That's a yarmulke, skull cap. I'm now too scared to wear my... good, carried on. So I'm sorry I did that, because I kind of miss them. Kind of miss the entertainment. I miss it. I really miss it. I wish I was there now at this time. Because now, I reckon a lot of Jews, a lot of people who support Israel, Johannesburg Jewish community that I live in, they're on spilkers. Spilkers. They're awaiting this genocide decision. Is it genocide? Is it what's going to happen? Are they going to make a decision? Look, the South African defense was emotional, but I think I thought Israel gave a fantastic case. It was legally fantastic. Yeah. So I would love to be at the table, and they discussing the merits, and look, but they all agree with each other. So don't think there'd be heavy debate. But I would ask the question. Yes, I would like to make up something. Yes, I agree with you, it's genocide, but do they prove it's genocide? You know? And then just to break the ice, I would say, you know, genocide aside, this gefilte fish is really nice. Normally it's watery, but your gefilte fish, very nice. Very nice. Tsimas out of this world. I'm not going to have dessert trying to lose weight. So, there you have it. I had other things prepared, but just this once I'm going to say goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you next time.